Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Fight Back 2020. My name is Willie Lawson. Welcome. Lots to talk about today on this Saturday. We are getting to the end of hopefully of this lockdown, of this quarantine, of this sequestering, of this battle for our constitutional rights, because that's what's starting to happen. Really, it's not so much that we're battling a virus by itself. What we're battling is what is the republic going to look like on the other side of coronavirus. I'm not of the mind that coronavirus has been worse than any other pandemic that we have experienced in America. I am not convinced of that yet. I'm not convinced of that, not by the models that they've shown me, but the data that we've gleaned, the number of cases, the number of deaths, the severity. Nothing has convinced me at this point that this particular pandemic is worse than others, uh, except in the sense of our reaction. Not the slow reaction of the White House to do anything about it. I don't know if that was even possible. However, but our reaction as a nation in the throttling of the basic rights of Americans in America. We didn't get very far down the Bill of Rights before we started having problems. We only got to one, and it rears its ugly head in state and local governments by immediately um, violating our rights to assemble. It says so right there in the document. Um, we have the right to assemble. It doesn't say that we have the right to assemble in groups that the state or some local official, unelected official, decides is safe. It doesn't say that. It also, in the same amendment, mentions freedom of religion, freedom to assemble, freedom of the press. They're all in the same thing. Now, let me remind you again that these rights aren't given by government, so they can't be taken by government. I think that a lot of people, unfortunately, believe that the rights were given to the citizens by government. I think a lot of young people, unfortunately, believe this, but it's not true. It isn't true. The the Bill of Rights basically was a reminder to government, oh, by the way, these things are natural rights. And we want to make sure that you understand that the citizenry already has these rights, and you must not, you cannot, and you will not impinge upon them. So that's what we got going on. What's it going to look post Corona? And what I'm finding is this week is that we've seen uh, on the federal level, we need to always watch the federal level, no matter who your favorite president is, no matter what the cult of personality is. You always have to watch that crew. Um, However, for the first time at this level, watching the state and local people, we need to be every bit as village as awake, vigilant. Yeah, vigilant. That's not the word. But in any case, we need to make sure that we are every bit as awake, um, because it is state and local governments that are basically taking a sawzall and a hammer and a mallet and acid to your constitutional rights. They're overstepping in ways that are simply unimagined. And I mentioned this a while ago. I mentioned this a while ago that we would see things like this, and the precursor to the statement of why they were violating your rights is out of an abundance of caution. Smiling fascism. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about smiling fascism. Out of an abundance of caution, we need to take over the healthcare industry. Out of an abundance of caution, we need to take over manufacturing in America. Out of out of an abundance of caution, dot dot dot. We need to make sure that you are only able to buy certain things in the store when you go. And I know for some people, say, well, wait, that's ridiculous. No, it's not ridiculous. And I'm not talking about cigarettes and alcohol. I'm talking about anything deemed non-essential. Now, I don't know who gets to do that. That's always the question when government comes in and starts making decisions for people. Well, one of the things in Michigan, and we're going to talk about Michigan a little more in a minute. One of the things that is that were deemed non-essential in Michigan are these. Those are seeds by which to grow food. Those are seeds so people can grow their own food. The Michigan governor has said that these are non-essential and cannot be sold. I don't know, maybe they can be stolen. Maybe they can be donated and people can pay, I don't know, a donation. But they are non-essential and they cannot be sold. So people may not grow their own food. Are you serious? We are in a health crisis. 90% of people who have trouble and or succumb to their underlying conditions with COVID-19 or the coronavirus or the Chinese flu or Hong Kong flu, they have underlying health reasons, whether those are COPD or some lung disease or hypertension or dot, dot, dot. And the Michigan governor has decided that the healthiness that everyone would agree to of being able to grow and control the food that you put in your own body is a non-essential thing. This is why we can't let government decide what's essential for me or for you or you or you. That's why you can't. This is the same governor. This is the very same governor. There she goes. Gretchen Whitmer, Democrat from Michigan, who also said that hydroxychloroquine was not going to be given in her state. It's the very same governor. While at the same time, on the very same day, a Democrat state representative was literally fighting for her life, trying to get this treatment that she says saved her life. Gretchen Whitmer on that day said that no, we're not going to do hydroxychloroquine with the CPAC chaser, which is a cocktail that seems to be, I'm no doctor, but I've seen them on radio, seems to be doing well. I've heard more than one account from doctors, not not just from internet sites or idiots on Facebook, but from doctors who are actually using hydrochloroquine with a Z-Pack chaser, using that cocktail, and it seems to be working. They seem to be having success with it. And the only reason that Gretchen Whitmer said that she wasn't going to allow that in Michigan, the only reason going to allow that in Michigan was because President Trump had mentioned that at a press conference. That was the only reason. There was no other reason. There was no research done. There was no nothing. These state and local governments are completely out of control, folks. completely out of control. In Vermont, they've issued that order to stop selling non-essentials in Detroit as well. I mean, excuse me, in Vermont, to stop selling non-essentials. What's a non-essential? To who? Who gets to decide? Who gets to decide? State and local governments are deciding to actually fine people for actually leaving their house. And do you know what's being pushed around as a thing? Yeah, yeah, I've heard the thing with Bill Gates and Fauci talking about having papers that you would carry that would say that you are corona free. So you could be stopped somewhere and someone could ask you, "Where are your papers? Do you have your papers with you?" Yeah, yeah. And we laugh and make fun, but if we are not careful, if we are not watchful, this will be our future. There are, I mean, many. There's a. Let's see if I can. I was looking for it and I could not find it. I have a video of a man in Philadelphia being pulled off, forcibly being pulled off a bus because he was not masked up. There were a number of police officers, Philadelphia police officers, that were pulling him off this bus. I think this is. I think this. I think I do have it. I just hang on a second. I think I have it. There were a number of Philadelphia police officers basically pulling this man off this bus, and his only crime at that point was that he was not masked up. And as he's being pulled off the bus, you can hear somebody who was on the bus, "Thank you, thank you for." I guess I can't do that, because we are so horribly afraid. And I thought, wait a minute, if everybody else is masked up on the bus and he's the only one not masked up, seems that they're going to be okay. Uh, and I thought about it, and you think about it for a second. If you've got everybody on the bus who's masked up, if they're masked up properly, and then you get the one guy who comes on who's not masked up, is that a problem? Is he going to give it to any of them because they're all wearing masks, protecting themselves? Could they give it to him? They're all masked up. All their spittle should stay in their own face. His spittle, unless he's coughing and sneezing and spitting in people's face, was going to stay on him too. The virus can't swim more than 7 feet, according to the head of the CDC that I listened to this morning. Can't tell you much about it because it's off the record, but he did say that. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure why that man had to be drug off the bus in such a horrific fashion. You've seen the videotape. You've also seen the videotape, and I wasn't going to play it tonight, and I'm not going to because I can't really verify where it is. Yeah, I'm still trying to verify things where they are. There's this guy running down the beach, and the law enforcement officers are trying to triangulate on him, and it seems like his only crime is that he's not in quarantine, that he is practicing social distancing, but he's doing that by himself outside on the beach where he's taking a run, and he manages to outrun the law enforcement officer. And someone put in the soundtrack from, what's that movie? Dun 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 dun. What's that? Oh, anyway, yeah, I don't know. That movie came out in the 80s. The Running movie, but state and local governments are losing their mind, and they believe that they're able to do this, violate your rights out of an abundance of caution. I wrote here, patriots, Americans. When this is over, and it will be over, we have to make these people pay. Period. And how do you make politicians pay? You ensure that they're no longer politicians. You run against them. You support the constitutional candidate, and you beat them. Well, how do you get these laws and other things overturned? Well, you first of all win elections. Second of all, we're going to have to sue them until they're green. We're going to have to sue them incessantly. Incessantly. The third part, we're going to have to reelect Donald Trump. We're going to have to make sure that there are Republicans, although there are some Republicans who are every bit, if not worse than some of the Democrats in this crisis. Because we're going to need as many federal judges as we can. We're going to need as many federal judges as we can possibly round up, because these cases that we need to file will end up in federal court. And we need as many federal judges on our side as humanly possible. And Trump's been, before all this, been putting federal judges in place like crazy. So I'm telling you, these things, there we are. These things are important. Super important. So if you've got a mayor that suddenly thinks that she is queen, then we got to get rid of her. If you've got county commissioners that somehow feel that they're royalty and that they can suspend your natural rights out of an abundance of caution, you got to get rid of them. I don't care if they're Democrats or Republicans. You have to get rid of them. We must not relax, take a deep breath, and go back to normal. We must not. We have to push forward, and push forward hard. We have to let these people know that this sort of behavior is simply not tolerated. If for some reason your pastor got arrested, or you went to a church service and there are, let's see here, the Democratic Governor Andy Beshear is sending the police on Easter to churches to check out license plates. So the people who these cars belong to will get a quarantine order for 14 days. Are you serious? You can't be serious, right? There's no way that you can be serious. And if any of these people get the quarantine order, on the other side of this, they all need to file lawsuits. Every single one of them needs to file lawsuits. And we need to continue to file lawsuits until we beat this back. So they understand. So these people understand that this is not how we're going to let our republic be stolen away from us because of fear. My friend Chris Ann Hall, you can go to chrisannhall.com and check out all his stuff. Basically said that, this was something that she wrote down. Panic is a tool and power is a prize. Let us not forget. That's what all this is about. It's not out of an abundance of caution for your health or your safety or your security, because some of these people who are being arrested are being thrown in jail, where the real criminals are getting out because jails are dangerous petri dishes for disease, especially communicable diseases like coronavirus or COVID-19 or Hong Kong flu. what I've learned in my time is that whatever the left is talking about is hardly what the left is talking about. It's hardly ever what they're actually talking about. This is a battle for the Republic, my friends. I wish like hell it weren't. I wish it was just a difference of opinion. This is a battle for the Republic. Unfortunately, there will be, you will stand on one side or the other. There's no room for moderates in this discussion. There's no room for people who are on the fence. Either you support the Republic or you do not. That's all there is to it. Do you support the Republic and the Constitution of the United States, or don't you? It's frightening. We've not done a good enough job with most of our kids, so they don't understand. But you better understand. My name is Willie Lawson. This is Fight Back 2020. We'll see you around.